back, and it has been a busy week. And so, look at that graphic. I like it. Let's do an RC rewind. Ooh. Ryan Clark, let's go through some of the most interesting things that have happened this week. What's been your biggest surprise so far?
That the Patriots have spent a lot of money, but not a lot of money offensively. I thought Drake May showed you a ton of promise last year, not only with the way he threw the football, but with his toughness, with his moxie, his ability to run. With all the wide receivers that you had an opportunity to go out and get, to only add Mac Hollins to give this guy an opportunity to make plays makes zero sense to me. Look what the Commanders are doing to build around their young quarterback. I thought the Patriots would do more.
Yeah, they're just trying to get tough, is what Teddy Bruschi told me yesterday. What's been your biggest head scratcher of the offseason?
The fact that Dallas don't ever learn, right? Like, you would figure, man, somebody that can make money the way that Jerry Jones does would at some point go, as far as the market is hitting, what we've been doing in the offseason ain't been it. Let's try something different. But once again, this is the team that said, we're not going to go out, we're not going to add pieces, we're not going to work to get better in the offseason after a very disappointing season.
Yeah, there's an amazing stat on that I'll get to you, but let me ask you this one more question. What has been the most improved team in your mind?
It's the Washington Commanders. The Washington Commanders said, you know what? We got us one in quarterback Jayden Daniels. And they understand that he's on the rookie contract, and when his contract come up, they're going to have to break the bank. So before we get there, let's go add pieces to protect him. Let's give him another weapon offensively. And then on the defensive side of the ball, let's go make some changes there in order to be better, to give this kid some support when we get back to the NFC Championship.
Okay, so that's an interesting one. You live there in D.C. Do you believe the Commanders have closed the gap on the Eagles to the point where right now, if someone said Washington could be the favorite to win the whole freaking thing next year, that would make sense to you?
I want to say yes, because I would like to be welcomed back into the district when I take my train back there. But no, I mean, they've closed the gap some. And the game that they were in last year, we recognized that it would have been totally different if they could hold on to the damn football and if they could stop the run, which are two things that I think they're going to focus on. Kinlaw was a good addition to help them up front. He's not necessarily a run stopper, but they'll improve their defensive line through the draft. And I do think that the thing is, the ceiling for Jayden Daniels has not been reached.
Right.
So we know how important the quarterback position is. Mm-hmm. All this other stuff don't matter if he turned into what they think he can be. Yeah. Protect him and let him cook.
Yeah, it's interesting they brought back Bobby Wagner and Zach Ertz, two guys they signed last year on one-year deals, Super Bowl winning veterans that they thought would help them sort of jumpstart a new culture there. And obviously they were productive players as well, but bringing them back, like they're trying to run back that aspect of it and build on that while also adding, you know, to the offensive line, to the wide receiver room, et cetera. Yeah, they're trying to hit a window. Dan Quinn took the Falcons to the Super Bowl, I believe, in his second year there. So, like, it's not out of the question that you could turn it around this quickly, and certainly Washington wants to make sure and give it the best shot.
No, when you look at this team, what we found out versus the Eagles was that this roster wasn't necessarily great. Yeah. So they did need to build themselves up in many places, but you knew for sure you had a quarterback that played at an exceptionally high level who can only get better heading into his second season. So now let's add some pieces around him to give him an opportunity to reach his full potential. And if we could just find some stops against the run on the defensive side of the ball, I believe that game is different. You add Kinlaw because he's a big body, not necessarily a run stopper, like Dominique says. They have to do some more things to me on the defensive side of the ball if they want to compete with the Philadelphia Eagles.
That's the difficult thing about projecting a team like this is when they have a quarterback who showed as much as he did, and it was not gimmicky, it wasn't fluky in the first year, and we know how important the quarterback position is. You don't know what the ceiling is for this team. No matter how many holes and deficiencies they have, if Jayden Daniels continues to develop, or if he repeats what he did last year, they're a competitor, and they get a couple breaks, they're in the Super Bowl. I know it sounds crazy, but like that position
right
is
there.
so important, and a player like that comes along.
And the other thing is, too, right, like, you want to work to temper expectations, right? Like the year that Jayden Daniels had, let's say he was in his 8th year in the NFL. You know what we'd be saying? My goodness, that's a hell of a year. Exactly. This is an all-pro caliber player. This is a Pro Bowl quarterback. And so when we're thinking about what his ceiling can be, numerically, it may not be much different, right? We may not see this huge jump in stats, but it's the plays under pressure. It's making the huge plays in situations situational football moments. It's stepping up and being your absolute best when you're playing against Detroit, who's the #1 overall seed in the NFC. Those are the things that's important. That's what he has to repeat. What the rest of the team has to do is continue to build themselves up so he has more of those moments to step up in.
And the GM, Adam Peters, is in a good position right now. When you get that rookie quarterback, just throw it in the bag. You have free agency, everything. Throw it in the bag. I want that. Give me that. There's no pushback right now. Whatever you want, because you got a great player on.
Dom, he's shopping like your kids shop when you go to the grocery store. Because they don't know nothing about money. It's like, oh, I want this. I want this. And now you got all this crap in your cart, and you think to yourself, who's going to pay for this?
You going to pay for it.
I wanted them to get Myles Garrett. That's the guy I wanted them to pay for. It didn't work out that way. Okay, let's be very careful with our enunciation. It is time for Zero Fox.
Ooh.
Dominique has a couple of things that have caught his attention.
Y'all better shut your damn face. Damn, that dude is cool right there. I give Zero Fox. He does not give a damn. No! Get that big fella.
I get scared every time I'm going to say it because I'm country and I might say the wrong thing.
Zero socks. Give it. Oh, I'm glad Zero Fox is alive for another week. Lucky me.
Here we go. It is one of our favorite. You've never been here for
I've never been. I'm fired up.
You're going to enjoy this.
Really careful.
Zero Fox given. Take it
I
away.
think we're going to Sacramento for the first Zero Fox. A guy that's named Tommy. They challenged him to stop it right on the number. What do you think he's going to do? We are here.
Ain't no way.
I imagine that you think that we are going to put him up here to hit it right on the.
No way.
Nailed it. And Tommy is cool. And then Tommy turned around and showed me that mustache that make me nervous. I don't like that. I don't know.
I respect that.
Yeah.
I respect that. They made to stop it right there now.
I've been doing that a lot. Here we go. Juan Soto's out there. We got this fool out here talking trash, telling Juan Soto that he overrated. He turned around, and that didn't shut him up. He's still talking. Make him pay. I can't climb up there and punch you in the face. Watch my man in the green. I know that ain't Notre Dame green, I hope. Can't catch, goes down, and he gives Zero Fox.
So that's the guy who was chanting overrated.
The very same dude who was coming at Juan Soto, the ability to go right at him, or at least.
Unbelievable.
Ooh. See, this. Ooh. I love hockey fights, but this starts with a Zero Fox move, a Superman. Yeah. And then you proceed to get your ass whooped. Yum. Well, you go down to the ground and lose.
Hey, honestly though, he had the moment. He had the moment.
And then the very hockey maneuver of relocating his thumb in the penalty box.
Can I ask you a question? Because I've literally never been in a fight in my entire life. Is that a good strategy? Like just jump up as high as you can?
Well, it's a good strategy in hockey. You know, these fights are only going to last so long, and eventually.
Lên đỏ này mình làm phần trang trí là mình sẽ móc vào đây cạnh